Hey, this is Dan at Studio Blue. This is 15 minutes of mini ball, full body. So we're going to start with our mini ball. We're going to come all the way down to the ground. And we're going to place this ball in between the thighs. So feet are ball distance apart, arms by the side, knees bent about 90 degrees, give or take. Exhaling to curl the tail, give that ball a little squeeze, and start to roll the hips up to the sky. Knees reach forward. On your next breath out, roll it down slowly, upper back, middle back, lower back. Pelvis opens to neutral. And again, curl the tail, give that ball a little squeeze. So inner thighs, deep waistline, glutes, hamstrings, lifting, rolling down. And every time you come up, you might find a little more openness to the front of the hips and the thighs, allowing you to go higher into your bridge. And at the top height of your Pilates bridge, your knees, your hips, and your shoulders are in one long line. I'm thinking of pulling my heels to my shoulders all the way down. This time at the bottom, pelvis neutral, nod your chin. Feel the back of the skull pressing a little bit into your mat. You might get a little stretch in the neck, and then curl the head and the chest up, reaching the arms forward, diving the ribs down. Take a breath. Exhale, lower the chest, the shoulders, and the head to the ground. And again, nod chin. Exhale, curl up, give that ball a little squeeze. Try to keep the pelvis neutral. And then as you lower, try to keep the chin a little bit down till that very last moment. Last one, little squeeze. Nod chin, curl up. Take an inhale. Exhale, the arms are going to go up and overhead slightly. Inhale the arms down by your side. Again, give that ball a squeeze. Arms lift up. Think of the chest still curling up. Inhale down. So as my arms are lifting, the front of the ribs are drawing down, the abdominals, the obliques, everything's working. And as you squeeze your ball, try to relax the glutes a little bit. All right, this can also be done with the head on the ground if this doesn't feel so good in the neck today. Last one, exhale, arms lift, hands together behind the head. Inhale, lower the chest and the head down to the ground. Good. Exhale, curl head and chest up. Hold. Give your ball a little squeeze. Exhale, curl the tail. Start to roll your hips up. Now, as your hips roll up, your chest and your head are naturally going to start to roll down a little bit. And then on your next breath, start to roll down upper spine, middle spine. And as you roll through your lower back, nod the chin, curl back up. And again, right arm up, curl the tail. So you feel that initiation come from the abs, the inner thighs. Give that ball a squeeze, roll hips up as the head comes down. Take an inhale, exhale, last one. We're just gonna roll it down. This time our head will stay heavy the whole time. We're going to grab that ball, walk the feet just a little bit towards you, lift the hips and take the ball underneath the pelvis, so in between the tailbone and the lower back on the sacrum. Imprint slightly and bring one leg at a time, tabletop. Arms by your side, or for more challenge, arms to the sky, palms face one another. Feel some weight through your sternum as you exhale. The right foot can reach long, feet are staying the same height. Inhale to bend in, and then exhale the left leg. Left foot is going to reach long. Front of the hip opens, waistline stays connected. So really start to focus on your breath on this one. You might change the breath. Maybe it's an inhale to reach out. So you really have to expand into the back and side of the ribs. And I like having the ball under here because it gives your body a little bit of challenge here. So all of your deep stabilizer muscles have to kick in a little. Shoulders again soft, waking up your balance systems. Finish off with that left leg. Good. And then legs can come to the sky if you want to up level or stay with where you just were. As you exhale, the arms again can reach overhead. Front of the ribs are drawing down. Now I'm going to hold here. So my arms are not touching the ground. As I exhale, I'm going to lower the right leg slowly. Maybe a foot, maybe 2 feet. The front of this hip starts to open. My back, my waistline hasn't changed. I bring it back up just as slowly. And then exhale, left leg starts to lower. So the front of my hip joint is opening. My ribs are still drawing down. My waistline is still in. I'm still thinking of a little bit of an imprint just so I'm not overly arcing the back on this. Again, exhaling to lengthen and lower. And up. Last one to the left. Exhaling, lengthening, lowering. Bring it up slowly. Bend the knees, arms by your side, 1 foot at a time down. We'll lift the hips, take that ball out of there and roll it down. All right, so we're gonna take this ball behind the shoulder blades. Make sure that pokey pin doesn't poke you. It's right at about the base of my shoulder blades, maybe the center of my shoulder blades. Hands support the head. And then as we inhale, we're gonna stretch the head and the upper spine back over the ball. Some nice kind of passive back extension here. Exhale, nod the chin, curl up, right? Waistline still in, my pelvis hasn't lifted, my low back is neutral. Inhaling over, let the head go with you. Maybe the low back arcs a little bit on this because it feels good. And then exhale, reconnect. One more, inhaling, stretch over. Beautiful, stretch. Maybe open the elbows a little bit to get a little extra chest stretch there. Nod chin, exhale, curl up. Good. Arms are gonna reach forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, curl up a little higher. So you're gonna feel how the kind of the ball inflates a little bit more. It gets a little bit bigger. Now, maintain that height as you exhale slowly. Bring your hands to your head. Go slow, right? Did you lean back into the ball? Now I'm still on it, but there's not as much weight, right? And now I'm gonna sink my weight down. You can kind of see how I weighted down there. Arms go forward, exhale, curl up. So I'm lifting up off the ball a little. On your next breath out, hands to the head slowly. So now, right, the front of my waistline has to stabilize. I sink back into the ball, one more. Arms go forward. Exhale, curl up off that ball a little bit. I'm not forcing it. It doesn't have to be a big motion. Exhale, hands to the head slowly. All right, we still haven't weighted. And then weight into the ball. Stretch over for a breath. Nice job. And then we'll curl up. We're gonna kind of take the ball down just a little lower and lengthen the legs out. Toes together, thighs together. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're gonna slowly start to float up off the ball. Yep, we're gonna stretch forwards. Now I like my ball just slightly underinflated so it doesn't roll around on me. Curl the tail, we're gonna start to roll down slowly. Palms can face each other. I'm gonna just barely touch the ball. So I have a little bit of support there. Take a breath. And then exhale, nod chin, right? Folding over your sternum. Stretch it forwards. Take an inhale. Exhale, pelvis rolls back, right? As soon as I start to feel that ball, I'm like, okay, hold. And again, nod chin, reach it forward. Beautiful. Last one, curl. All right, hold, take an inhale. I'm barely touching that ball. Take another breath out. And then nod chin, roll it up, stretch it forwards, and restacks it tall. Nicely done. All right, so now we're gonna come onto our side. Knees bent, feet in line with the back of the sit bones. Bottom hand can support the head. You can also use a pillow. The ball can come to your sternum, right at the base of the sternum. So heavy head, my elbows forward. As I take an inhale, all right, we'll prepare. Exhale, I'm gonna let my head and ribs roll back and I'm gonna allow the ball to roll with me a little bit. So my collarbone opens, my left shoulder blade rolls back, and then I'm gonna bring it back to center. Maybe switching the breath, so inhaling to rotate. I'm just going about halfway here, exhaling back to center. Good. And again, inhaling to rotate, allowing, right, that left shoulder and pec, front of the chest to open, bringing it back. One more time. Rolling back, neck, upper spine rotating. And bring it back to center. All right, we're going to stay down here. I'm going to take the ball in between my ankles, softly point the toes. My bottom arm is long. I'm going to shift my legs slightly forward. So if I look down, I can see them. From my upper body to my hips, I'm long. Waistline in. Take an inhale, top arm in front. Exhale, both legs are going to lift up. This is where you want to make sure you're not just on a yoga mat on a hard surface. You have a little bit of cushion under this bottom hip. I'm going to inhale, lower down. So softly pointing the toes, exhale, lifting up. So I'm feeling this bottom inner thigh working. Shoulders are stable. Inhaling down. So this isn't going to be as much glute, right? Exhaling to lift, right? Toes are pointed. Thighs are squeezing. Inhale to lower, last two. Exhaling to lift, and you'll notice this top hip isn't moving, so my obliques are stabilizing. And down. Last one, exhaling to lift, hold, and breathe. Beautiful. And lower it down. All right, we're gonna grab that ball and we're gonna flip sides. So I'm still gonna face you. Knees are bent forward. Heels in line with the sit bones. My bottom handle support my head. Again, you can use a pillow. Hips are stacked. Top hand of the ball at the chest. As we inhale, the head and the ribs, the ball is going to roll back. I'm opening up through my shoulder. Right shoulder blade, top shoulder blade is drawing in. I'm going to exhale to come back. And again, inhaling. And more is not more on this. So really focusing that this is coming through the neck, through the upper spine, the mid spine, but the low spine itself isn't doing too much movement. The pelvis itself isn't really rolling back too much. So if you're thinking just about halfway back, about a 45-degree range, and really encouraging upper back to find some motion. And then for me, I know I tend to kind of arc a little too much in my mid back, so I'm thinking of drawing my tail down a little. You might be the opposite, so just kind of note where your posture typically is. Last one. Lovely. And then bring it back to center. The ball will go in between the ankles. Softly point the toes. I'm going to take both legs a little forward. My bottom arm is long, top arm in front. Waistline's in. This top hip is lengthening down. So really think of reaching long through the top leg. Exhale, lift the bottom leg up. So both legs are lifting, but we have that ball. You feel both inner thighs, but you're definitely going to feel that bottom one. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe. And rest. All right. Bending the legs. We're going to grab the ball and come onto our belly. So this can be done without the ball. It can also be done with the ball. So my nose is going to be about an inch off the ground. My elbows are bent off to the side. My feet are wide, about shoulder distance. My hands are going to come on top of the ball, one stacked on top of the other. I'm going to set the shoulders out of the ears a little bit. Pubic bone heavy. I'm going to start to lift my head. All right, I'm going to push down into the ball and lift head, upper spine, middle spine. And I'm going to just push the ball a little bit forward. So holding and breathing here, upper spine extension, mid spine extension. Try not to overly tuck the tail, but just feel the weight of your pelvis. A little lift through the lower waistline. Lower slowly. All right, take a breath in, take a breath out. As you inhale, lift the head, push down into the ball, push it a little forward. So those arms will start to lengthen. And again, I'm focusing here on my upper spine, my middle spine. Lower back isn't moving too much. And take it down. You might feel some work around your armpits and your arms, your triceps. That's cool. Again, breathe out, set everything. Inhale, head lifts, push into the ball, reach it a little forward. All right, hold and breathe. This one I always feel like feels just so nice with the ball. Take it down, switch the hand that's on top, and just a couple more like this, bringing it up. Again, it doesn't have to be super high. And down. And last one, bringing it up. Letting the head go with you. Good. Maybe coming a little higher up into that upper spine, breathing. And bring it down. Beautifully done. Hands under the shoulders. Push back child's pose. Feet together, knees open. Arms can reach forward. Now you can still use the ball in this. So you can reach the hands out with the ball. Head heavy. You can take the head to the ground or on a pillow. And if you stretch that ball away from you, let your shoulders lift for a moment. You might feel more stretch under your armpits. So from the armpit, down the side of the ribs into the lower back. And then the shoulders can always settle out of the ears. Just continue to breathe in through nose and out through mouth. As you're ready, start to roll yourself up. And that was your 15 minutes of mini ball. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Or if you'd like any other classes, let me and Audra know. We'll see you soon.